we've just joined up with Nick and Melvin. They found the two Ndhzenga males walking quite deep into Londolozi, so this is very exciting. And I mean, they're pushing further and further into the Birmingham Males Territory. It's just the two of them. We're not too sure where the two other brothers are. As they're moving through on what seems to be a bit of a territorial patrol, they're not actually vocalizing or calling. And this is behavior that we tend to see when there's some new males coming into a territory where they don't necessarily know where the current dominant males are. And if they then call, they are advertising where they are, whereas if they're wanting to sneak in and sort of go undetected and try and get as close to those dominant males as possible, they'll do it without calling. And so what we think may have happened is either the Avoca males or the Birmingham males were calling last night, and that's brought in the attention of these two Ndhzenga males, one of which has got a bit of a hole in his side. We believe that that happened in trying to bring down a buffalo, and it seems as though part of his stomach or intestines is hanging out there. It's healed relatively well, but I mean, obviously that will be a slight hindrance going forward if he was to get into a fight. And then his other brother here is in phenomenal condition. He is enormous. They seem to be settling down in the shade now. There's a fairly warm day, so I highly doubt they're going to be doing too much more. So it's interesting with these two males now because they're deep into what would be the Birmingham Males Territory, taking up the challenge, moving in here to try and drive the Birminghams out or not. We're not too sure. It would be a very interesting tactic if it's just the two of them coming in, especially given that the one's got a little injury on his side there. It's been a great morning with these two males. My very first time seeing them, and it's awesome that they're pushing further and further north into Londolozi, and I'm sure we're going to have a bit of a situation on our hands going forward if they do come into confrontation with the Birmingham males and potentially take over this portion of their territory. But I guess only time will tell, and I mean the Birminghams are still in great condition, and so they'll be able to hold their own for now. But just great to see them moving through some of the clearings on a pretty serious mission this morning. So we've got a very interesting turn of events. 3 of the Ndhzenga males have been found in central Londolozi. They settled down for a short while. We heard some lions calling further north, most likely the Avoca males. These lions immediately got up and set off in a pretty steady march in that direction. So they mean business. They are very deep into the Birmingham Males territories now, as well as approaching on the Avoca Males territories. We're not too sure exactly where the Birmingham males are. We've just heard what was most likely an Avoca male. And every now and then they're stopping, pausing, listening. That's giving them an opportunity to work out exactly what else is ahead of them. They're not calling or advertising where they are. So this is a typical behavior of lions moving in to try and take over a territory. They try and do it very stealthily, where they don't want to announce their presence until they're right upon their rivals. And so, I mean, we are just about to get to the Sand River. So the Ndhzenga Males have pretty much traversed the length of Londolozi in a matter of 2 days. And they seem as though they're gunning for the Avoca males. Whether they're able to detect in the roars that the one male is injured or that this male is by himself, we're not too sure. But the fact of the matter is, there's 3 males here. The Avoca males are just 2, the Birmingham males are just 2. So if they come across either of the 2 coalitions, there's definitely going to be a battle worth sticking around for. So we've got to the southern bank of the Sand River, and we've heard another lion calling what sounded like maybe just on the northern bank of the river. We had a very brief view of a female running off away from us. These 3 lions have now split up. There's a very high probability that something's going to go down now. It's a pity we can't see. There's some big trees in the way, and of course our spotlight's packed up and we don't have a chance to shine. So we're just going to sit here and listen. So we've heard from one of the Mala vehicles that one of the Birmingham males is way on the Kruger Park boundary, so that's the entire opposite side of Mala. The second male, we're not too sure exactly where he is, but they haven't been seen on Londolozi for quite some time. So the fact that they haven't been here, they haven't been calling or scent marking, means that this land is lying vacant. And is this the takeover that we're expecting? The fact that the Ndhzenga males have come right the way through the entire property and are scent marking the entire way through, moving in to try and challenge the northern Avocas who are on the northern sides of the property. I'm sure what they're going to do this evening is just wait it out, listening, trying to hear where any other lions are, and then launch an attack from there. We can't see them any longer. We've sat around for about an hour hoping to hear anything with nothing. So what we're going to do is slowly drive back towards camp, hoping to hear something this evening. But first thing at the crack of dawn tomorrow morning, we're going to come out hoping to find some evidence of something having gone down. We're heading straight back out to go and see what's materialized during the course of the evening. There's been lions calling non-stop. So let's get across there and see if it's the Avoca males that are calling or if it's the Ndhzenga males that are calling. So Malvin's just in this block here behind me. He's managed to find another lion. Looks as though it's one of the Avoca males who is very steady in a march that way in response to some other lions calling. So we're not going to go in and join him here. We're going to loop up ahead and try and get to where the other lions are calling from. Maybe it's his brother, possibly even the Ndhzenga males. So let's get across there and see what state they're in. We've just heard lions calling again. Sounds like there's more than one, and they're just down in front of us here. So it's most likely the Ndhzenga males moving in to launch an attack on the Avoca male. It's a very brave strategy from the Avoca male. He looks like he's by himself, and he's charging into at least 3, possibly even 4 of the Ndhzenga males. So although he is older and he's got a lot more experience than the Ndhzenga males, still it's a sheer numbers game today. Just found all 4 of the Ndhzenga males walking straight towards us here, and they're very intent on their mission this morning. Last night they were going in complete stealth mode, hoping to catch the Avoca males by surprise. This morning they're announcing their arrival and they're roaring a lot, advertising to the Avoca male. They're proclaiming this territory and wanting to try and drive him out. These males look determined this morning. So this is pretty much where Melvin left the Avoca male to come and join us with the Ndhzenga males. And as these four have arrived here, they've stopped. They're calling quite a bit, probably just trying to detect if the Avoca male is still around here. They've then given off a full-blown roar, and the Avoca males have responded behind us. Sounds like he's retreated, he's met up with his brother, because we can hear two males calling there. Sounds like these animals are about 500 meters apart, and so things are very, very tense at the moment. Experience plays a huge role in these lion takeovers. We've got these four Ndhzenga males who are believed to be anywhere around the age of 5, 6 and 7, and the Avoca males are about 8 or 9. Their experience is a lot greater. They've been through many more fights, and so they know exactly how to handle these sorts of situations, whereas these young bucks are probably pumped with testosterone, just charging in, hoping to try and get lucky. And so we'll just see if maybe their inexperience may cost them. For now, it's not worth pursuing these males any further, and they're down closer to the Sand River. They're probably unfamiliar down there, and so they'd rather be out in the open up on the crests here. It looks as though some of them are all turning around and heading back. It's almost like a bit of tactical warfare, where these four males are trying to just weigh up the options. Is it worth pursuing them and trying to chase them further north and potentially get into conflict there? Or have they made this territorial gain and now they're just going to let it sit for now and wait for the right time to launch an attack? Looks as though they're going to try and just put a little bit more distance between the two, probably roar a few more times, just advertising where they are. And I guess it's a bit of a situation now where they're puffing out their chests, trying to make themselves appear a bit more formidable, because they're not necessarily wanting to get into the conflict or the fight right now. They're going to wait it out until probably this evening or until nightfall. That's a better bet for them to then try and launch an attack. We're not too sure exactly what went down last night. These males all look as though they're perfectly fine. There's no evidence of any skirmishes from last night, and I guess it begs the question as to, did they come into conflict with the Avoca males? Melvin only saw the one male this morning, and he looked as though he was in decent condition and hadn't been involved in any fights. Is this the takeover that we've been expecting? Are these four males going to be formidable enough to try and drive out the Avoca males? Are the Birmingham males going to turn up and try and drive these four males out? How are the female prides going to react to these newcomers? Are these four males going to hang around and try and drive home their authority, or are they going to retreat and head back south to the Southern Pride and the Styx Pride, of which they've already got cubs with down there? What's caused them to just leave those females alone with the cubs and move in to what appears to be a vacant territory at the moment? Or maybe some of the females up here in heat and calling, and that's drawn them in? Or have they just noticed that the Birmingham males have not been around for a while? Having a closer look at these males, although they're very intimidating when they're on the march and charging past the vehicle. So we've obviously got the one male who has got a bit of an injury on the side of his stomach. See, two of them have got a bit of a wonky paw, and then you've got the one very big, powerful, dominant looking male. And so are they going to be enough to try and drive out the Avoca males, of which obviously there's the one that's got that injury on his front left leg? Let's just hope that experience helps the dominant coalitions here, the Birmingham males and the Avoca males, hold on to their territory, and let's hope the lack of experience or the inexperience in these four doesn't cost them any of their lives. My best guess is that they're going to wait out for today, regather, and then maybe try and launch an attack this evening if they do. So although we're posing a lot of questions here at the moment, I'm sure all of these questions will be answered in the next few days. But it's been amazing. It's great to have some new lions around here, and we look forward to seeing what happens.